days, and we'll be reverting to a new channel called Inside Nigeria Plus, and I would like you guys to subscribe to this channel because YouTube will be bringing down this channel in the next 10 days. Let's go to Nnamdi Kanu's ordeal. We know that the court yesterday strike out Nnamdi Kanu 50 billion naira suit against Nigeria government and the federal government as regards assaulting him and destroying his properties there in his family's home there in Abia State. What's your take as regards the government striking out Nnamdi Kanu's 50 billion naira suit? What's your take as regards this?
Normally, we understand that in Nigeria it's very difficult to get justice, particularly when you are fighting the government. Don't forget that even recently the former president of Nigeria, talking about Goodluck Jonathan, made it very clear that judiciary pretend to be sleeping. Of course, he was drawing from an India adage that says when a man genuinely sleeps, you can easily wake up that person. But that when a man pretends to be sleeping, it's difficult to wake that person up. And of course, he likened that situation to Nigerian judiciary, saying that Nigerian judiciary, they pretend to be sleeping. He directly made reference to how they manipulate judgment. So nobody expected that Nnamdi Kanu to get justice in the Nigerian system, owing to the fact that one, we know how how Nigerian system views an Igbo man. They see Igbo man as an enemy, particularly when we are talking about self-determination. And this man is looking for justice because of perhaps wanton destruction of lives and property that was done by the military against his community, his father's compound. Remember that during Operation Python Dance, the military invaded Afaruku his own time. He narrowly escaped, and he was later abducted from Kenya back to Nigeria in what have been established today as extraordinary rendition by Nigeria sovereign state. I'm saying that confidently because even Court of Appeal in Nigeria ruled the other time that Nnamdi Kanu was extraordinary rendition from Kenya to Nigeria, and as such, he should be released unconditionally. But today, we are seeing the federal government that have not heeded that, have not obeyed that judgment. Rather, they decide to go on appeal. Coming to your question and to answer it directly, I never expected a federal government of Nigeria to give Nnamdi Kanu justice.
Never expected the federal government to give. But what we are seeing now, do you think that Nnamdi Kanu still have hope of him getting justice?
He can, I swear, try to. But what I can understand is maybe Nnamdi Kanu should approach court with outside Nigerian jurisdiction, talking about International Criminal Court of Justice.
But do you think the Nigerian government will even adhere to the court, even though Nnamdi Kanu sue them outside Nigeria?
But let it be on record that the court makes a pronouncement. But let it be on record that Nigerian government is flouting it. Because don't forget that the reason Nigerian government image is battered is some of these things. Because you see a government that refuses to submit to rule of law, you see a government that when there's a judgment, they don't obey it. Even in some instances, you see individuals involved in such cases going to secure a garnishing order. A garnishing order is an order of court compelling government to obey an initial order. Even at that stage, you see government flouting it. But the point is, when it gets to that level, even if they refuse to obey, let it be on record that there is a judgment of this nature and they refuse to obey. We probably have ECOWAS court in Abuja. We have seen so many instances where they will rule against Nigerian government, and Nigerian government will refuse to obey it. Let all be keeping it and compiling it. It is on record that they are disobeying those court orders. But let us go ahead and continue in that manner.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay, Inside Nigerian News, please, this channel will be going down next 10 days. Please kindly help us, revert or, help us subscribe to the new channel, which is on the description as a link, Inside Nigeria Plus. That's the new channel that we're working with now. We've seen that yesterday the court, strike out Nnamdi Kanu 50 billion naira, case as against the Nigeria government. What's your take as Nigeria court, striking out this sue against the Nigeria government?
Yes, I've been following the events. So the court said that Nnamdi Kanu had no representative. I followed yesterday. I read yesterday. So that is the reason. And whether 50 billion or 50 billion, the most important thing that Nnamdi Kanu's legal declared a second civil war against Igbos when arrested Nnamdi Kanu, and I think that it is there's much fight on that, because I have a video of Samuel Otom, former governor of Benue, who said that the IPOB are terrorists and because the terrorists, they've not taken arms to go and kill people from different states. But the Fulani that are killing people, you have not declared them terrorists. So I seem to support what Samuel Otom says. So the issue of releasing Americans should be the first and foremost in the minds of this 50 billion or not 50 billion. Okay, if they give 50 billion, I'll still in detention. Nothing beats the freedom of a man. Nothing beats that. So that freedom we want to see him free, want to see him working out of detention early. And the problem he said, release me in 2-3 days, there will be peace in Southeast. Nnamdi Kanu said that. And you can watch it anywhere you want to watch it. So it's as simple as Nigerian government or the Igbo politicians, the governors, they should a political solution to it. They should sit themselves down, and then find a way to talk to the government. He's from the side, a Yoruba man. Talk to him. Let's find a political solution. Nnamdi Kanu's release should be the first and foremost in the minds of the Igbo leaders. We saw how Yoruba leaders stood up for Sunday ago when he was even detained outside Nigeria by the public. Yoruba leaders stood and it was released, and good news for the South. So the Igbo leaders stood. They should find a way. They should leave their ego. They should maybe probably Nnamdi Kanu has offended them. Let the past be the past and find a way. But it seems or the Igbos people seem to respect him. I mean, the youth, they love him, and let him be released, and let us see maybe if that insecurity in the eastern part of Nigeria, maybe it will be reduced to minimal level, because people are taking advantage of IPOB and be doing criminal activities. You know this is in Nigeria. Everyone's hiding under the umbrella. Oh, I'm fighting for injustice. I'm fighting for Biafra. And so, if it's released now, yes, then we can now stand and say yes. Now that this one has been released, what are you fighting for? Or again, in quote, why are you still doing these things since someone that is in detention has been released? So 50 billion or no 50 billion, that one has gone. The most important thing for the Igbo leaders or the Igbo people should be the unconditional release of their leader or their colleagues or their agitator Nnamdi Kanu from detention.
Okay, but we've seen Ejimako come out, and even Nnamdi Kanu brother Emmanuel come out, say that the Southeast governors have not gone to visit Tinubu. I think last year, July, there was a meeting among the governors in Enugu, for them to visit Tinubu for the freedom of Nnamdi Kanu. But for all we can see and for all we know, after that meeting up to this date, they've not gone to see Tinubu as regards the freedom of Nnamdi Kanu. And you said that the Yoruba leader stood together in unity to fight for Sunday Igboho. Why do you think that the Southeast governor are not wanting to see Tinubu as regards his visit? Are they scared of Nnamdi Kanu?
Yes, they may be scared. They may be scared of his popularity. Politicians are the same all over the world. All they want to do is to win election, to be relevant. And Nnamdi Kanu seems to now there are some people you see here. Ask them, what do you think about Opus Odima, Alex Otti, Uwefiru, Putamba, and remaining one, Soludo, and then place them side by side with Nnamdi Kanu. I would like me to see that the popularity of Nnamdi Kanu seems to be coming to the Igbo youth that I know more popular than them. So they may be afraid. For example, if that's an Igbo man, who do you prefer between Nnamdi Azikiwe, the first president of Nigeria, and the Dimodumego Kemanewi? They seem to like Kemanewi the more. So, but that doesn't mean release him. He's not fighting for governor. He's not for senator. Probably he's thinking that. I saw a document that Nnamdi Kanu was telling Nigeria that give us support, give us airport, that we may not be fighting this Biafra like that. So let them speak to one voice. Let him be released. I don't understand the jealousy or the resentment that they may have against him. Release this man. Let's see what he can do. Let's see how the people of that part of Nigeria are going to react to it. That's what matters. You understand? So I don't know why. Maybe it's ego. Maybe it's how do I put it? Maybe it's fear. You understand? But when you're in government, you have money. You don't want to lose that money. So that is it. So I don't know. Yes. So let them speak one voice and let them find a way to release him. Let's talk.
Okay, inside Nigeria news, this channel will be going down the next 10 days. Please just kindly help us subscribe to the new channel, which is on the description link, inside Nigeria Plus. And thank you very much as you do that. We see yesterday, we saw that a court in Abuja, strike out, Nnamdi Kanu's charges against the Nigerian government as regards assault and destroying properties there in the father's home there in Abia State. What is your take as regards the court striking in Nnamdi Kanu's suit against the Nigerian government?
We don't know. We are even tired of this. We are tired of the way Nnamdi Kanu is treated or is being treated. Very bad. Nobody can tolerate this, and nobody can welcome what happened to Nnamdi Kanu. Nnamdi Kanu, just like Sunday Igbohu, who said he don't want to be a Nigerian citizen again. He want to, will I say, go to Oduduwa Republic. And Nigerians started, to pursue him, to attack him. And finally, they released him. But till today, Nnamdi Kanu is still there. They destroy his property. They killed his people. If you see what they did is family. And again, he was on his own in UK, and he was kidnapped from Kenya to Nigeria. What do you want from this young man? If you decide to be free, if me now I say I'm no more Nigerian, should it be a case? No, I'm free. I'm free. If I say, okay, I want to sign nationality of another country, I'm free to do so. And he said he's not a Nigerian, he's a Biafran, and he was not inside Nigeria, he was in UK. All this thing, he was declaring it in UK. And they went to Kenya and kidnapped Nnamdi Kanu from there to Nigeria, and he was incarcerated. And you ask yourself, why? Why? All this while he had been detained there. Tell me, his detention, had it made any change in Nigeria? I don't see any change. His detention, had it stopped killing in Nigeria? Fulanis are still occupied, killing everywhere. And that's what Nnamdi Kanu declared. Even before Fulani sprayed their killing all over Nigeria, Nnamdi Kanu have already, will I say, prophesied that look what is coming to Nigeria, look what will happen in Nigeria. And it is what is happening now. You see. And even when they talk about IPOP, all the Biafran agitators, we haven't seen them killing people from bush to bush. We haven't seen them, all over the country terrorizing the people. But they are the way their own matter is treated is a surprise. But those who are killing Nigerians all over, our leaders are silent over it. But I thank God now they are coming up. So we are to free that young man is what everybody is asking. If everybody is asking, why is he still detained? What is he doing there? Free him, let him go. And coming to you will see that even many youth in the southeast love him and consider him as their leader. So, such a leader, why should he be detained? What is the motive? He has been declared, I think in the court some years ago, he was declared acquitted, discharged and acquitted by the same Nigerian court. And the same Nigeria is detaining Nnamdi Kanu. I don't see the need.
You don't see the need?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Okay, we saw the court there in Abuja, strike out Nnamdi Kanu's court case or charges against the federal government as regards assault and against destroying his father's properties and his property there in Abia State. What's your take as regards the government striking out the court striking out 50 billion naira suit against the government?
Well, the fact there is that the Nigerian government, they don't have any choice. They must pay they must pay the money. You understand me? Because they are trespassing on his human rights. For Nigerian government, they have granted him bail and they left him, and they still gave him a decision of he will not stay in a crowd, that he will not stay in the midst of more than 10 people. And after that, they still went ahead. Who are those men that came to his father's house to shoot people, to kill his personal pets, destroy his father's palace? You understand me? So they fight anything possible means to take his life. And the young man flew away because he's a man that who is alive will testify what happens tomorrow, not a dead man. So now he has sued them, and they will pay that money. They don't have any choice over it. Yes, they will pay. You understand?
But they've taken it out now, so how will they pay?
They've strike it out. How will they pay? They can't pay.
They will pay because one, they have trespasses on human rights.
So do you think it's advisable for Nnamdi Kanu to take these charges outside the shore of Nigeria?
Exactly. Because me and you, we know that here in Nigeria, our law doesn't exist. Our law doesn't exist. It's a country that where we are living on the umbrella of bribery and corruption. The person that who will stand for you, to speak for you, to defend you over the facts, over the reality which everybody is seeing. You understand me? At the end of the day, they will go and give the person money. They will bribe that person, and he will now jeopardize the reality. And because most of the issues that happen in Nigeria today, go to different prisons, go and hear the testimony of people. They are telling you the fact, the reality of their life, what brought them there. You understand me? They are facing a challenge of they don't know how it starts. They are facing a trial that they did not even cause. So that is it. So if Nnamdi Kanu can be able to sue Nigerian government outside the country, let other world power, let them come and fight for him. That will be much better. That will be much better. Because we know that Nigeria doesn't exist. But there is a country whereby when you say the truth, they will look a way to hunt you down. They will look for a way to kill that person. They will look for a way to make sure they will destroy the life of that person and his family. For instance, look at this young boy who stood at the convoy of P2B towards that election time, towards the time of that rally. Look at him today, where he is. He's in the prison, a minor. A minor. According to the Nigerian Constitution, that young boy is not due. Is not the age is still tender for him to be at that critical place, because Nigeria is a place that they don't regard it. They give out our laws and quote it, but at the end of the day, it doesn't work. So yes, it doesn't work. So we don't have any hope that Nigeria will be better tomorrow. The only thing, I am opportune to speak, I can only say that they should split the country. Let every man answer his name. Let every person define his faith. Hausa go, Igbo go, Yoruba go. But it cannot work. It cannot work. The case of Nnamdi Kanu has been existing for some years now. At the end of the day, we keep on hearing every day, they go to court, they go to court. After court, they will turn him back. What is the way forward? Nothing. Nothing. They are using the young man to play their political ambition. That is what they are doing. All his prophecy, all his statement, whatever he said, has come to reality. Now look at ESN issue. Look at it. And we said that we are one Nigeria. What is the thing that made us one Nigeria? Why we cannot even our human rights, we can't exercise it? They value animals, cow, more than the citizen of the country. Is it supposed to be like that? So that is all I can say. That is all I can say. So anything that they know that is right, they should do it. As for today, look at people are suffering, no food. Every day, landlord, they are increasing the house rent. People are dying. It's only the news that you hear on television that you can come out openly and say. What of the one that you are not hearing? What of those people they are killing secretly? Nobody is hearing them. The level of insecurity in Nigeria here is terrible. Which other countries, things like this are not happening? The citizens, they will come out to protest. The so-called police that are meant to protect us and guide us, they will start shooting tear gas. Is it supposed to be like that? They will start shooting people. They will start humiliating people, molesting people. Is it supposed to be like that? The country we are living today is not a country we can say, I am proud to say this is my home. Now people are japa. You see everybody, they are japa. Japa of it. If Nigeria is good, will people believe in Nigeria to run away? A country, somebody they cannot eat 3 times square meal. You will see little children out there in the street. They are hawking pure water. Do you think education, they forbid it? They don't forbid education. But who is going to be the person who will take the responsibility to train them? There is no one. And we claim we have political leaders. You will see a man that if you go to his house, he has thousands of cars, one person. While by other people, they are working with their bare leg. They don't even have food to eat. I can remember vividly the question when Buhari asked Tinubu the first day he went to his house. He asked him, are you selling cars? Because he saw the kind of cars there. Yes. And he claimed that he said that it's the car people are dashing. People are dashing. Are there not some Nigerians that is working with their belly? They don't have cars. There is no democracy in Nigeria. There is no democracy. We claim that we are practicing democracy, but no. Indirectly, we are into military regime. A country whereby you come out open. As I am on this broadcast now, tomorrow maybe people will start calling me. People will. You can boldly say, this is my home. This is my mother's land. This is my country. This is when you ask me boldly, I will say I am a blooded Nigerian man. No. There is no more Nigeria. A country where people will protest, they will go them that they will shoot them. Is it a country? In other countries, is it happening? Here in Nigeria, our political leaders, they will use our money, they will go to another man's country. They will go and invest there. They will build a standard hospital, a standard hotels, where there is no employment in Nigeria. People are suffering. It has been enough is enough. I can remember the word of Ben Bruce vividly. He said, hello, my people, Nigerians. I want to make a common sense. I want to enlighten my people. There is a country whereby when you come out to tell the reality, they will start lying you. Yes. They will sideline the person. Is it supposed to be like that? People are committing suicide. People are dying from one illness to another because there is no money for their treatment. People are dying in poverty, hunger. Why our so-called leaders, they are moving on the street with their entourage, claiming. But they're supposed to remember one thing, that this earth we are living, we are strangers here. One day, we will leave it. A man who built more than 100 houses, in all, you will live in one room. In all, it's only one room you will make use of. You will never make use of all the whole houses. It's only one room you will be sleeping. You will not sleep in 4 rooms or 3 rooms. You only live in one room. So this country,
mistake they are making.
yes, they don't seem to understand that this country we are living is for everybody. It's not for one person. It's not for one person. Nelson Mandela, the former president of South Africa, he paid a huge sacrifice for South Africans. Today they are benefiting it. They are benefiting it. Who is the man in Nigeria here who will come up, who will rise up to fight, to make that sacrifice without our so-called corrupt political leaders to sideline and to kill that person? Look at other African countries. Even though they are not here in the street of Nigeria, you pick money. Please, we are blessed. We have thousands of mineral resources. But our political leaders, they are sitting on top of it. Where the citizens, the people that God bless with all those things, they have no opportunity to make use of it. That is why they sideline history in the Nigerian record. Other countries, they don't play with history. But here in Nigeria, they sideline history. Because they know from history to history, people will recognize, people will speak, remembrance will keep on existing. In most of our schools today, both secondary, primary, kindergarten, high institution, they don't speak of history. They don't teach history. Without history, how a man, how a woman will be able to know where he's coming from, will be able to know the record, the history of his people. All those things doesn't exist. You will give one man a contract to work, to build a road. They will go and do rubbish. In no less than 2 years, everywhere will be flooded. Nigerian government are so selfish and greedy. I keep on telling them, I am not scared today. I am not scared. A man who has been living under a life of what if? Will he be scared of death? No. Every day we hear news, people jump from flyover, people jump inside the Third Milan Bridge. Out of what? Frustration. No job out there. They say they are creating job. Who are the people working it? Every day we hear ghost workers, selfish people. A country whereby their people, their brothers and sisters, they plead them before every other person. And I keep on asking them, those people that you are pleasing, are they the only people that who put you in that seat? That is all I have to say. That is all I have to say. So the country we find ourselves now has catch fire. The country has catch fire. But the only thing that people don't see is the flame of the fire. The country has catch fire, but they don't see the flame. But a time shall come where Nigerians will see the flame of the fire, which I always tell people that the end will justify the means. And that end that will justify the means is getting close by. It's getting close by. Yes, you're highly welcome. Thank you. Yeah.
So inside Nigeria news fans, just like I've said, this channel will be going down in the next 10 days. Kindly subscribe to the new channel, which the link is on the description below. Just click on that link and to take you to the new channel. Just subscribe. You know, name of the channel is inside Nigeria. Inside Nigeria. Just click on the link and subscribe to the channel. Just click on the link and subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you.